As you can see, I've got the handwriting of a 2-year-old. Believe it or not, I actually tried studying calligraphy for a while. Anyway, September 13th, 2020, I thought I'd do a little status update. I did one of these back in March, partly to give everybody an update on what I've been doing and what's coming next, what the plans are, and also a little bit for myself as well, so that I can recap on what I've done, see if I'm on track with plans, and make sure that I'm focusing on the right things as well. So briefly, what's happened since March? I've had a few goals since then I've been focusing on. Two of the key ones have been to try and improve the quality of my video content and my music as well. So I've done a couple of things to try and help with that. One of them is get a new camera, so you can see what I'm filming on here. What I'm using here is a kind of hybrid DSLR. This is what I shoot all my vlogs on recently. It hooks up through a capture card, streams straight into my laptop so that I can capture the video as it's happening, essentially. This is a bit weird. Anyway, let's put that back. So previously what I was doing was just using my phone for recordings, which was fine actually, the quality is not bad. The main issue I had was with the front-facing camera, which is the only way I can see what I'm doing. The resolution is not great, and if I'm using the main camera, which is a high resolution and high frame rate, it's really difficult to see what I'm doing. So framing is very tricky if I'm trying to get myself in a certain part of the shot so I can leave space for other elements. Equally, in low light, this camera is not great at all with video, whereas this one here, which is a Sony a5100, does much better in low light. So the other one I mentioned was music quality. So there's lots of different components that go into a piece of music that can help to determine whether it's good or not. And there is some objectivity to assessing music. There are things like mix quality. So that comes down to some of the technicalities of how well the instruments are mixed together. Is it balanced? Whether you like the music and the composition or not. Does it sound okay? So this is one of the books I've been reading, recommended to me by my buddy I'm in Limbo, who featured on one of my singles back in June. There's loads of stuff in here. It does focus on dance music. Obviously the music I'm making is a bit more of a hybrid between certain styles. It does definitely incorporate dance elements. There's a lot of detailed breakdowns in here that go into different individual percussive elements, kick drums, snares, how to create those, what frequencies to use, how best to EQ them for a certain style. And it also has these really interesting track breakdowns that help you to understand how other people have arranged their tracks. Arrangement being another key component, kind of what it sounds like. So it's how all the elements are literally arranged together. Do they follow the best structure for that piece of music? There are typical structures that people follow when writing pop music, for example. All the rules can be broken if you want to, but you have to be careful how you do that. And you have to have a good reason to do that usually as well. So that, along with a few other good books that I've been reading about mixing, in particular to try and up the production quality. And hopefully that's coming through a little bit in the tracks that I've been releasing recently. So in terms of where we're at now, since March we've had 3 singles out. The coming days, Biomarauder and Solaris. Solaris is going to be the last single before the album release, which I'll be able to announce very soon. I've got the artwork already, all the tracks are finished, it's ready to go, just need to get a finalized date. So from here, that's going to be the main focus. Got a few months left of 2020, so behind the scenes I'm trying to maximize my streams as much as possible, in particular trying to branch out to new listeners, which is very difficult to do. There's so much good music out there and so much to choose from. It can be very difficult to not only connect with people who have an interest in the music you're making, but to get them to take a chance on you and spend time out of their day listening to your music. So that's something I'm focusing on, trying to figure out different ways to do that. Another thing that we've been working on is some new identity for Northern Introvert. You may have seen some of the character concepts that we've done with Brain Blips before. They also did the recent artwork for Solaris, trying to create a bit more of a stronger visual identity for Northern Introvert. I think the music has a really strong character, very particular feel to it, even though all the tracks are quite diverse in style. So what I want to do is create a consistent identity that goes with that. So we've been doing some experimentation with that recently. I'll be sharing the concepts of those soon to see what you all think, and hopefully start testing the waters with some artwork, prints, stickers, and what? And potentially clothing, depending on how things go. So we're going to be doing a giveaway, I think, around the album launch time. You'll be able to get some free swag. That'll be our opportunity to help test out the products that we're making. And all of this really is to try and slowly build this into at least a very small amount of income. I do this, of course, because I enjoy doing it. It's a hobby. But the ultimate goal, long term, is to try and be able to spend more time doing this and less time doing office work. With music, that's notoriously difficult. With me especially, I've kind of shot myself in the foot because I don't really have the means to play live. It's kind of my own fault. I don't have a band. I haven't written the music in a way that allows me to play it live. And that's predominantly where musicians get their money from. Of course, that's very different right now with the coronavirus situation, but typically, and once things start to creep back to normal, that's likely to remain the main source of income for most musicians. So yeah, there we go. I don't know how interesting this is, really. So if anybody's made it this far into the video, I don't know, drop a hedgehog emoji into the comments. I'm pretty much winging it with some of these video ideas, just to test out an experiment, really, with different types of content and formats. If it's boring, don't worry, I won't make it again. If there's any particular parts that you're interested in hearing more about, just let me know, especially if there's behind the scene things about how the kind of release process works, stream stats, stream numbers, stream sources, I don't know, music production, anything really. So I guess we'll leave it there. Stay tuned for the album announcement. Looking forward to getting these brand new tracks out, see what everybody thinks. And thanks for sticking with me, really appreciate it.